Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and today we're working on Rocky's Weekly Challenge. We're already on week 37. I think I've missed 2 or 3 weeks. I'm sorry about that. I've explained all that in a previous video. Just not been around, not been able to get into my craft room very much because we've been so busy and we've been away. So it's really nice to get back in here and carry on with doing Roxy's Weekly Challenge. And this week we're going to be making these little book page, what do you call them? Book page pocket journal inserts with multiple variations. I don't know how many variations I will manage. Didn't do a great job on this. It looks okay, but it got a bit creased up in the folding. Probably I should have waited a bit longer to fold it. I don't know, but it's fine. By the time you flatten it down and put something in the pockets, nobody's going to notice. But yeah, so I'm not going to do very many, of course, because they always take me a while. I've got a collection of papers here, a mixture from Shabby Dabby Doodah and from Roxy Creations. I'll use a bit of both, I think. And I've got a couple here from Rachel, some of her book page packs. Well, I've had one pack from her. I'm nearly running out. I mean, this is probably my last 2 of this size, so I'm getting very low. So I managed to find a book on my shelf. This is one of my old German books when I was a student, they're not much bigger. I might cut them down a little bit just to make the size a little bit more of a size to go in a pocket. But it was sewn in, so I've been able to get a few pages out that are joined, because I've hardly anything that's kind of joined together like this, which is what we're using. These ones were barely joined together. They were, pretty well falling apart. So I have actually put some washi tape just down these 2. It's just some Tim Holtz washi on these 2, just to make sure they held together. Only did it on the inside because, of course, we're going to put paper on the outside. Otherwise, I would have done both. But I thought I'll keep it neutral because then it won't affect my choices of paper. If I thought about using a pretty washi tape, but I thought I knew what would happen. I'd then try to find paper that would go with it. And I don't want to be influenced by the washi tape as to what papers I choose. So I've got a couple of these. So these are Italian ones, and then these are a couple of 2 or 3 German ones. I don't think I'll do them all. I'll try and do 2 of each. So I'm going to start with one of these, I think. And, it doesn't really matter which ones you use, because they're pretty well going to be covered up anyway. I've got a selection of papers here. I really like this one. I think it's one of Rachel's backing papers, but I just think it's really pretty, and I think if I used that, I think that would look lovely, wouldn't it, on there? So let's go with that, shall we? And right, now I've got to remember how she did it. I'll probably end up doing it slightly differently. I think what I'll do, sort of line it up, fold it over, kind of like that. I'll make my fold mark and try and make it a reasonably straight fold, assuming I've trimmed off the edges in a straight, because sometimes these are still from my old printer where they were not borderless, and sometimes they weren't very straight either. Right, let's try tearing that off. Right, like that. Oh, I got too close to the edge. This is it. Rachel just goes for it, and I try to be all precise, and it never works. No, it's slipping too much. I need to turn it over. Don't think it should slip with this cork on it, but it always seems to if I do it that way round. Okay. Nice piece. Yeah. Don't spend time admiring the cut-offs. So I can now, where's it gone? Which one was it? No, it was this one. Then we put that inside. in the middle. So I've actually got a little bit too much hanging over the edge there, so I'm going to fold it up. Oops. To make my pocket. Okay. Well, I'm not happy with how I've torn that, so I might just get my trimmer involved. I don't really like this all hanging out at the side, this bit. It's only a little bit, because actually when you wrap it around, it just pushes the book page along a bit anyway. So it's not as far hanging over as you think. I just want to make sure they actually are level. Okay, just a tiny bit. Don't want it to look any worse than it needs to. And yes, then we've got that, and that, and that, like that. We'll just leave it at that for now. This just does it as a bit of a sort of multi-make kind of process. So we'll find another one that I like the look of. Got a few here. This one is from, there's a whole selection here of ones from Tina's English Country Gardens collection. They're all quite different. I think I might use this one, that's quite pretty. I need to make sure I'm filming because I'm paranoid these days about, turning on the camera. It's usually when I've turned it off and then forget to turn it back on, or I think I've turned it back on and it doesn't come back on. It happens now and again. So, okay. So, that can go there. That can turn over. And I need to just hold it there, if I can get hold of it. Okay. And is that right? Oh dear, that's terrible, isn't it? That's terrible folding. And if I can, yep. I think I need to just line it up. That may be easy for me. I'm not very good at folding it around the pocket, around the book page, so I need to just line it up a bit. Is that about right? Nope. Goodness gracious. It's finding a good way to wrap this around, isn't it? Right, let's try again. There must be an easier way to do this than what I was doing. I think the best thing to do is to overdo it and then trim it. That might be the easiest way for me. Just basically bodge it. Yep. Go like that. Am I going to notice that, aren't I? Well, I'll probably cover it with lace or something at some point. So let's not worry about that too much, and then I'm going to use my trimmer. We have to find our own way through with these things sometimes, don't we? I'm not as dexterous as Rachel, so I have to find a way to do things that work for me. Right, so that's about right. And then I think I'm going to actually trim it at the bottom as well. Do one of her variations. So I'm just going to pull that out a smidge so I can see where I'm cutting. Okay, hopefully the next one I will get the hang of a bit better. I'm going to cut that off. And that's still not, oh no, got a bit stuck, that's it. Okay, I'm going to come back and do the folding of the pockets afterwards, so at the moment it's like that. Okay, it's a bit of a trial and error with me if I'm doing these things. Let's see if I can do another one with some of Rachel's papers. This is a really pretty one. I think this one will be good with the bottom pockets. Okay, and this one I'm going to, because this is my little German book and it's a little bit big, a little bit tall, I'm just going to trim it down a bit, make it a better, more manageable size, and also it means I've got a bit more pocket, a bit more paper at the bottom to fold up for pockets if I make it a bit smaller. Okay, so we are going to just try and fold it roughly where I want it to be. If I okay, I think we're about right. Let's have a look, see if I've done a better job this time. A little bit better. Okay, I might lose a little bit of that border, but so be it. I'll just move this up a bit so I can see where I'm trimming. By the time I've done the last one, I'll have this down to a fine art, won't I? And then we're just going to, so I wasn't far off with this time, I only had a little tiny slither to cut off. And we'll open it up and fold up for the pocket on the inside, and just fold over the edge to make it a little bit more sturdy for the edge of the pocket. Okay, I might as well just do the trimming on that as well, mightn't I? Yep, we're going to cut a little, don't think I did it on the first one. I was too traumatised to think clearly. Alright, so we've got our little pockets. Hopefully this now folds in like that. Yes, okay. That one. Have I got any more to do? Yes, I've got one more. Oh, hang on, how many have I done? I think I can only manage to do maybe 4 today. Have I done 3? Yes, done 3. Alright. do one more. See if I've got the hang of it now. So, this one. And what piece shall I use? Just trying to find, I've got some more of these lovely English country garden pieces. Is that going to be too busy? I think I'd quite like to do one of the top loading pockets, which would work best for that. Awfully similar to that one, isn't it? Oh yeah, maybe this one. This would be a good one for the top loading pocket. Yeah, okay. We'll do this one. And this one you do it at the bottom. And we'll do a pocket at the top. And okay, so we're going to try and measure our folding a bit better this time. How's that look? That's nice with the... that doesn't look very straight, does it? I think the fold is straight, I think the paper's not straight. And are we more or less in the right place? Yes, we are. Good. And I'm going to use my trimmer. So now, I think with this one, we're going to lie it up at the bottom, like that. Turn it over, fold it down at the top. Yeah, we have to fold it down a bit below the level of the top, don't we? Yep. So up there. How's that? Oh, have I cut this one down? I haven't. That's probably a good idea. Cut this one down a little bit. Yeah. And so this one would then get it in the right way round. It's going to fit like that. I might take a little bit off the... I don't want to have it folding down any further, but I do want it to show a little bit more of the book page. I want it to be about there, I think. Like that. Yeah, so I'll cut a little bit off the bottom. Yeah, that'll be alright. And then we just need to do a little snip here just to make sure it doesn't get caught up in the fold. About right. Well, it's not quite perfect, but I'll just take a tiny bit more off this side. Okay, so we've got that, except that's not right. Put it inside, that's better. Okay. Right, so I've got a couple of variations here. Oh yes, I was going to fold that, and the other one I was going to do... Yes, we've got to do some more folding. So I've folded that one. This one, I was thinking, oh, I've got two here. Yeah, I want to do that one. Fold in the corner. And then the other one I'm going to make into a side tuck. So, fold it in about, can you see? About there, I think. And let's see. That'll be there. And that will show, be quite a good, nice side tuck on that side. And then this one we've done our folding of our pockets already. And then this one is going to be, yes, this one's got the pockets that I haven't done my little corner snip for. And then this one's going to have the two corner pockets. Fold that one in. So the key is to try and have a right angle here, have that going straight, and then they should be able to line them up roughly, so about the same. And then we can put that in. And then we'll do all the gluing now. So I hope I've not made this too confusing. I think I'm confusing myself, but these sort of things are always a bit difficult when you're not very dexterous. So the first thing I want to do is glue down these pieces, so the edges of the pockets and the corners, the bits that need to be just turned over really. That one and that one. And then we do the corners. Turn that one in. Whoop. That's gone skew-whiff. See me saying trying to fold it. So you get a straight edge and then it's gone a bit skew-whiff once I've glued it. Let's try and do it that way round and make sure I glue it properly in place. That's better. That's it. Oh. Big lump of glue. Because it's quite warm here at the moment. I don't know what I'm doing wearing a long sleeve t-shirt. I'm quite warm, so I think my glue's got very soft. It's one of those, that's that time of year when you get up in the morning and it feels quite cool, and the evenings are cool, but in the middle of the day, well, that's not particularly even, but I don't suppose it matters too much. That's a bigger one than that one, but never mind. Right, so that's that one. Just put that aside with that. Yeah, so it's quite hard to decide what to wear sometimes, because you know you're going to be cool at the beginning of the day, and then by the time the day ends, which one is it? This? Oh, this is another one with the corner pockets. Yeah, I like these ones best, really. I think they're very pretty. That goes in there. And the next one I messed up, but I'm hoping we'll be able to cover it up. We'll be able to use some lace or something on there, I'm sure. And we're just going to do this one. Oh, no, not this glue stick. It's not working anymore. I think I've got another one in my drawer. So I should just quickly update you, because today it's actually Arlo's birthday, and yesterday we had his party here, and we had lots of family, all his family. Bless him, he was so good. You know, you'd think he'd be a little bit overwhelmed with it all, but he was a little bit wide-eyed, you know, with all these people around, but he took it in his stride, really. And it was really funny. His auntie Jess, that's his daddy's sister, had made him a very special cake, suitable for a 1-year-old, in that it was very healthy. It wasn't using any sugar. It had a yoghurt filling with blueberry in it, and it was made with oat flour, and I don't know, she said it was just all natural sugars, so it wasn't super sweet. But he'd never had any kind of cake before, and there were 3 layers. So there was 3 layers of cake, and then yoghurt between each layer, and all over the top with blueberries on the top, because he loves blueberries. And after he'd had his after he'd had his dinner, and they sat him in his high chair, and we were out in the garden and just presented him with this cake. Apparently, it's the thing they do with 1-year-olds. It's I just let them go for it with a cake. I think it's called a smash cake or something. And so he sat there and he sort of was just kind of dipping his finger in to start with and licking because he loved the yoghurt. He thought, well, I like the yoghurt. And they just kept encouraging him and showing him that, you know, this is edible, you know, you can play with this. He was really cautious to start with, but he kind of got the hang of it. He started to just dig his hands in, and in the end he was just slapping the thing, you know, with his hands, and everybody was clapping and laughing and encouraging him. I think he quite enjoyed himself. He was covered in it by the end. It was really fun. And I think he quite enjoyed it. Once he realised that he was allowed, it was like most children that age, as you know, anything else just go straight in the mouth and they do whatever they like. But for some reason, when it comes to food, he's a bit more cautious about putting it in his mouth. Right, so that's that one. Yeah, I think he had a good day, but he was a bit snotty, a bit coldy, and apparently he's really not very well this morning. So, and his mum's caught it as well. So they're having not quite the birthday that she was hoping. Right, so I'm just going to glue down these 2 flaps. So yes, so this is, you know, they both got the day off with him today, as it is his actual birthday. But then tomorrow, everything changes, because he actually goes to nursery full time from tomorrow, and they are both going back to work. She's only working, I think it'll be 3 days this week, because she's taking the Fridays off, I think, until the end of the year, using up her holiday leave. But then it'll be every day after that, unless they can manage without her working on a Friday from now on. But for the moment, she's only working 4 days, so she can have a day off with him every week. And then one of the other days, on the Thursday, will be our day. So we'll see how that goes on Thursday. I shall report back when we've recovered, because he's so close to walking now. He actually walks quite a few steps between. If you go down and have 2 people either end, and he just walks between one and another, particularly if it's his mum and dad. He loves to walk from one to the other, and they're sort of stretching how far apart they go. So that's that one. Right. Now I need to concentrate, so pause the chat for a moment. Anything like this, it's always a little challenging, but I think that's why she calls it a challenge, because it's meant to be a bit of a challenge, I think, for us all. Okay, now I'm going to close up this glue. I'm not going to be using this glue now. Got a new glue to show you, which I'll be using. Okay, which one shall I start with? I'll start with this one. I don't think I need that anymore. Right, so now we need to glue these in. So I think what we have to do, line it up, make sure it's lined up at the top. If there's a bit of a gap at the bottom, it doesn't really matter where the fold comes, just as long as it's lined up here. Now this is the glue I'm using. I've seen this being used by a lovely lady called Alison. She's got a YouTube called Crafty Ali Creates. And I've seen her using this gun, sort of like a glue gun, but it's wet glue. It's by Nuvo. It's a tonic glue, and it fits in this little holder, and it just makes it easier. I mean, I'm still getting used to it because it's obviously a little bit big for my hands, but the gluing is brilliant, and the glue, it's really good glue. It's very similar to the Art Glitter glue, and I will be using that up as well because I've got a whole new bottle of that. But I actually asked Alison what she uses and where she got her little holder from, because I thought maybe that would make life a lot easier with the squeezing of a bottle. So she gave me all the links. She was very good. She sent me all the links so I could actually order one of these for myself, and then Richard bought it for me for my birthday, which was even better. See, the glue is just so keen to come out, and you keep it in this, and then every time in between you've got a special little stand that you put it in that seals it while you're not using it, and it's all good to go. So you can just take the top off and just keep putting it in here until you finish using it for the day. So yeah, I haven't used it very much yet, but I think it's going to work really well for me. So let's see how this goes. Just got to get my hand around the little trigger here. Make sure I haven't got too much seeping out. You have to just wipe the top each time. And then I'm just going to do a little run of glue down here in the middle, and oops, dripping along the bottom. Yeah, I've got to think now, where does the glue go? But you want to line it up with the paper. Oops. Not with the bottom of where the fold is, because the fold is a little bit below where the paper goes. That's just my dodgy folding, really. And then down the side here. Okay. And then we wrap that around. Hope it fits. Seems to be fitting all right. Isn't that beautiful paper? Oh, and what I meant to do before I did that was to ink along that edge of that pocket, but maybe I'll do the other one. I'll have to come back and do it afterwards. Just makes it a little bit more tricky. I want to do a bit of inking on this one. I think it needs it. And then we can do our pocket. We can do the folding up of the pocket there. So I think what I'm going to do with this one, with the pockets, I am going to punch them before I glue them. I think that makes a bit more sense for me to do that rather than trying to do it afterwards. I know Rachel likes to do these things in the hard way, but enough of the things are hard for me anyway, so I don't need to make it any harder for myself than it already is. I'm going to try and ink along that edge as well. Okay, now we can glue that down. Right. Okay, and that's the pocket. And there's a bit of upside down writing here, so we can always cover that up with something. I may need to trim. I do need to trim. But I'll do that after I've finished gluing, I think. Alright, let's do the other side. And I won't need to put I don't think I need to go down the middle on this one as well, because we only need to do that on one side, I think. And along the bottom here. side. Oh, quick ink along this pocket. Then we can close it up. Yes, I've gone a bit, it is a little bit overhanging, but when it sort of pushes it along when you close it. When you open it, it looks like it's overhanging, but actually it's not as much as you think. Right, now we're going to punch our pocket. And ink the edge. And glue it down. Don't think I've quite... That doesn't look quite right there, does it? No. Okay. Oops. Didn't hold for a moment. I'm going to just trim along this edge. Okay, that's better. So I've got that side. I'll see if I can just quickly ink along there. Just along the edge of the pocket. I do like to do that. And then we've got this pocket on the other side. And the two little pockets in the middle. There we go. That one's turned out okay. Considering its start in life. Well, that wasn't, was that the dodgy one? No, not necessarily the dodgiest one. Right, so let's just quickly do this bit of inking along this pocket first. And this one. I think I'll do all those bits and then I'll do my punching and my inking of these pockets as well. Right, so that's that one. And the other side. That's really pretty. This one next. How are we doing for time? Now, see if I can get it done in the time. Let's glue, let's ink my two corner pockets. No, this one was a side tuck, wasn't it? That's it. Okay, so I'm going to do my thumb notch on that one. That's that one done. Okay, so you see that's right. There's our side tuck. And the last one is the top loader. So again, I'm going to do my punching and inking before I glue. So in fact, maybe I'll do the two together, then they'll at least be in the same spot, won't they? If I can get it to do it. Oh, yes. Right. There. So, yep. That probably could do a little something going down the middle. So I think we're meant to be drying these flat. Make sure they don't buckle. And that one. Right, so I took a little break to gather a few things so that we could finish these off, or at least as far as we can get today. And this was the one that needed the most doing to it, I think. So we want to do something about the cover, and also we want to put some papers inside. This isn't laying terribly flat, but never mind. We'll work with it. I've got my bone folder right in front of me, yes. So we can sort of do something with that. So I'm going to take a couple of pieces of paper. I didn't want to completely cover the Italian script. I thought it would still be nice to have a bit of that peeping out. So I'm just going to put a couple of pieces of writing paper on here. And I'm not going to ink them or anything. This is a nice cream. I think it is a vintage paper, but I'm not going to worry about inking around the edges of this piece. There are times when life's too short to ink everything, isn't it? Well, I haven't left much of the script showing, but it's fine. Just to give it a hint. Excuse me. Hint of the old book page that was behind there. And then on the front here, so we had this fold where I did a misfold, didn't I? So I wanted to cover that up, and I thought, well, the best thing to do is to add a bit of lace just down there. Completely covers up where that extra fold was, so we'll just go down there. See how this glues lace? I'm sure it's fine. Check which way around it should go. Don't think it matters an awful lot. No, I think it feels right this way. Whoops. And then I thought I needed something up here, a little extra something. So I'm picking up some of the lilac-y colours in the background papers rather than the blues and pinks. I just thought for a change. So I've got some of these flowers that I got from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. And they come in little sets of 3. And they're all the same colour, but I thought I'd mix 2 together. So I've got these 2 purple ones, and I've got this one that's more of a, it's got a bit lighter with some lilac around the edges and sort of a pale lilac. I thought rather than going really solid purple, I'd soften it a bit with this lighter colour. So you just need to glue these 3 layers together. I'm really putting this little gum with glue thing through its paces today with all the different things I'm trying to glue together. Using it on lace, using it, well, obviously on paper, and I'm going to try it on these flowers to see if it holds the flowers. Hope so. I have bought myself, I wasn't sure whether to, but I have bought myself a new hot glue gun, but I haven't tried it yet. Let's just press these down, get them all to stick together. Seems to have worked. And then I'm going to pop it on here, and then we'll add a centre. Oh, it's not quite holding. I think this is why Tina uses her hot glue gun so often, because it's instant grab, isn't it? Whereas this, we've got to give it a moment. And I don't know how well this glue, or how quickly this glue grabs. I mean, our glitter glue is pretty quick, but I haven't really tried this one out yet, so I'm not sure. What I might do, I've still got my fabric glue here. This might have been a good option. Yeah, I'm just taking that off, aren't I? Let's see if we can get this one to work. Oh, we've got to decide what we're going to put in the middle first. So I've got a couple of options. I've got some little sparkle gems, bits of bling. They're in a lilac, which I thought might be quite nice. Yeah, I like that in the middle there. So let's put a bit of fabric glue right in, dollop in the middle, and see if I can find my little pokey stick thingy. This should do it. Tweezers just to get that off. Pop that in the middle. Don't want it to be two-dimensional. Let's see. Do I need... Yes, I think I probably need to put some of this glue on the back here as well to get it to glue to the page. Put some in the hole, and hopefully it'll hold all the... It'll seep through and hold all the flowers together as well. There we are. Yeah, that was a better option, I think, for this. It's learning what glue is best to use for which project or which media, I suppose, isn't it? They all have a place. Right, so that's that. Leave that to dry. I don't think it needs anything else. I might just trim this off a little at the bottom. Okay, and I wanted to do some more on this one, which is the other one that's got just plain book page in the middle. So this was one of the cut-off pieces, and I was thinking I was going to use a bit of this to make a pocket, and I thought, well, actually that's quite nice writing space there, so why don't I tear that off. No, tearing it straight would be a good idea. Just put that on there like that, because that can all be written on. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so we've got a writing space there, and it's really pretty as well. And then this is a piece from the paper I used for my prototype pocket for this one. This is a Shabby Dabby Doodah paper as well from Covent Garden. That's the Covent Garden kit. And this was printed on, I think it's 180 GSM, so it's quite a bit thicker than the other papers, which are all just standard copy paper. And it was double-sided. And I hadn't used it because I printed them on upside down to each other. So they're no good. But I thought, well, actually, this would make quite a nice pocket. So I'm going to just punch a little thumb notch. And give it a little link up. Actually, I just want to trim a little bit off here. Okay. Because I was going to originally use the other paper, but I was going to have to double it over to make it thick enough or sturdy enough to be a pocket. But this one doesn't need to be. So I'm just going to put a little pocket in there. Yeah. Okay. That's that one. Finished on the inside anyway. And I thought on the front, just need a little something down here. So I've just pulled out one of Rachel's decorative labels. I'm just going to pop that down there. And that one is done. Like that. Okay. I am going to, I think, snip the corners of the top here. They are bothering me that they're so square. So I'm going to look like that. Like that. And I think we need to do that. Just at the top, just on the top. Okay, so that's that one. And I think the other two, because they've got the extra pockets already, I think we won't necessarily, I don't feel the need particularly. I might add a bit of, I don't like this up above here. I'm going to have to trim that so it's all at the same height. I'm sure it doesn't really matter that much, but I preferred it to be level. And it was crying out to be inked. Now I think it needs something here, but I think I'll leave that for off camera. I'm running out of time. And then we've got this one, got some bits of paper floating around. So then there's this one, love this one. Got a little bit of a ridge here, I just need to try and flatten that down. And again, I think I need to ink it up a bit. Well, not that the old paper doesn't need it, because it's already got quite a lot of those kind of colours on it. Okay, and that's that one. So yeah, these are really, really great. I love these. These are nice little things to put into pockets, slide into side tucks, big enough to put in a belly band. All sorts of things you could do with these. So there we have them. Our 4 little, let's see what she calls them. Gotta get it right. Book page pocket journal inserts. Book page pocket journal inserts. There we go. That's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've had fun. I've had lots of fun. It's lovely to be back in my craft room, crafting with you guys again. It's really nice. So I will see you soon, hopefully more regularly now. Bye.